Hello everybody, BaxtyB here and welcome back to BaxtyB F1. I appreciate it's been a while, but BaxtyB F1 2.0 is a go. And in today's video we are going to be talking about our newly crowned four-time Formula 1 World Champion, Max Verstappen, because at the Las Vegas Grand Prix he wrapped up the title with a very steady 5th place finish, doing exactly what he needed to do to get the championship over the line and not have to worry for the 2 remaining Grand Prix and 1 sprint that this season has left. He finished behind the 2 Mercedes and the 2 Ferraris, but crucially he finished ahead of Lando Norris, which is exactly what he needed to do. And it's safe to say that this 4th championship has probably been his most impressive because he's had so much competition, not just from Lando Norris and McLaren, but also from Oscar Piastri in these last few races, particularly the Ferraris, and on their day, the Mercedes, particularly in Las Vegas, Mercedes doing a 1-2 for the first time this season and only the second time in the George Russell and Lewis Hamilton era. So a really strong weekend for them. But the question I want to ask is, where does Max Verstappen rank amongst the true greats of Formula 1? Now, if you go back into my channel, you'll see I did a live video last year where I did actually address my top 10 of all time. And in that, I had Max Verstappen at 9. But my list has changed. So let's have a look at the new list. And there it is. So the top 5 remains the same. Lewis is at number 1, then Schumacher at 2, Senna at 3, Fangio at 4, and Prost at 5. But you'll notice that Max has jumped all the way up to 6, ahead of Jim Clark, Jackie Stewart and Niki Lauda. Now, there's a variety of reasons for this, but first of all, I do have a little bit of bias towards Max in this ranking because I have seen his career from day one. I've seen almost every single race he's done, and I'm seeing his career play out in real time before me, whereas I wasn't alive when Jim Clark, Jackie Stewart and Niki Lauda were racing. So they are on this list because it's impossible to ignore that the impact those 3 drivers had, but I rank Max higher than them purely because I'm seeing him and I'm watching his greatness unfold before me, much in the same way that I saw Lewis's greatness unfold and continue to unfold. And then I've seen bits of Michael, obviously didn't see any Senna and Fangio or Prost. Now the question is, why is he not above Prost? And it's very simple. I have him below Prost because Prost's level of competition, in my view, is pretty much unmatched. I think Lewis is the only driver that can really get close to Prost's level of competition. Now, I'm fairly certain that at some point in his career, Max will probably win another championship and he will go above Prost. He might even go above Fangio. Or Senna, or Schumacher, or Hamilton. I'm not ruling out putting Max at the top of this list. It'll be difficult, because Lewis is also my favourite driver, but Max has been phenomenal this year. And I view his 2024 in 2 ways. So in one sense, he's proved that he's not quite as good as some of his fans make out. I mean, when I've done the shakedown and other podcasts and talking to people on social media, I've had people say to me, oh, Max Verstappen is the greatest driver of all time. You could put him in a Haas and he would win. Well, he's shown that this year he can't do that. He is only human after all. When that Red Bull hasn't been to his liking, he's not been able to get the job done. Plus, of course, the competition he's had around him has been a lot stronger this year in comparison to his last 2 titles. But on the other hand, he has also shown how good he is, because he has shown me and other doubters that actually he can deliver really strong results when the car isn't to his liking, and he is able to get results that maybe the car isn't worthy of getting. And if you look at the troubles that his teammate Sergio Perez is having, it just goes to show that Max is very, very good at driving a Formula 1 car. And the one thing I want to highlight from Max is his qualifying. His qualifying has been unbelievable this year. He has put that car in places that I don't think it should have been. He's been qualifying on front rows and second rows, all the while keeping the pressure on Lando Norris and the other like Charles Leclerc and the other contenders who are trying to catch up to him. And they say, well, if you want to catch me, I'm here, try and beat me. And they've all been beating each other, and he's just been kind of quietly going about his business and getting solid results. Now, it hasn't all been good for Max this year. I mean, there were the 2 incidents with Lando Norris in Austin and Mexico, which I thought both of which he was at fault for, and he did not cover himself in glory there. And then there was also his race in Baku, which, to be honest with you, I think was the worst race Max has put together in about 4 years. It was a terrible weekend for him. He was comprehensively beaten by Perez that weekend. And it was just not a good one for him there. But, as I said, his qualifying has been magnificent. And so much so that I actually think he has shown himself to be an elite level qualifier. I always thought he was a very good qualifier, but you thought of Leclerc, you thought of Hamilton, you thought of Russell as being like the top 1 lap guys. But Max is right in that conversation now, and that is another reason why I've elevated him up the list, because he has just dragged that Red Bull to results that, certainly over 1 lap, I don't think it should have been capable of, but he's been amazing. And, those of you that know me and have followed me on other places, you'll know that I'm not a big Max guy. But I always give credit where it's due, and I cannot deny the greatness that he is showing right now. But, yeah, this is where I think Max ranks amongst the true greats of the sport. Yeah, he's still got a way to go, and I think his biggest thing is to win an absolute barnstormer of a season without the help of the race director. Okay, second mention, but I promise it's the last one. Yes, he did win 2021, but I mean, if he wins next year, when we are looking like we could get a 2010 run, I mean, my God, we are talking he could go quite high on the list. So, interesting times ahead for Max Verstappen, and I'm excited to see what happens in 2025 with Lewis Hamilton in a Ferrari as well. That's going to be massively exciting, and I'm sure to talk more about that later on in the weeks to come, in particular during the off-season. But yeah, guys, thank you so much for watching this. Comment below, where do you think Max should be on an all-time list? Should he be higher? Should he be lower? I know some of you will probably say he's already proved himself to be the GOAT. Well, I think he's got a little bit of a way to get there at the moment, but he might well be on the path to doing it. And if you want to see more of me and want to encourage others to come along, then please do hit the subscribe button, share my videos, get them out into the open. You can find me on Twitter at BaxtyB. The name has changed quite a lot recently. I am now also on Threads, again, BaxtyB F1. And I also have a new podcast called Shifting Happens. I'm running it with some of the guys that I do Twitter Spaces with. And we have been running for about a month now. We've done 5 episodes plus a couple of other videos. And we're having a lot of fun with it. So I'm going to put a link to Shifting Happens as well in the description box below. But guys, thank you so much. And thank you for being patient with me whilst I haven't uploaded in over a year. But I'm hoping to be a bit more regular with uploads and to try and engage more content with you. But until next time, guys, stay safe, and I shall speak to you all very, very soon.